Kyle, Tiki Tierney, how you doing, buddy? You good?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to
Happy
you.
New
All right,
Year,
so
man.
listen, there's a lot of conjecture out there. You know, you're new to the city, but just paint as vivid and accurate of a picture as you possibly can. You know, from the outside looking in, I don't know if anarchy is the right word. Probably not, but it seems like the Giants are in this colossal state of disrepair. What does it feel like inside the building from your eyes?
I think there's just a lot of frustration. You know, obviously we talked going into the preseason after I had signed here, and you know the whole reason I came here is because you know I felt like I saw an opportunity to go play on a team that was going to compete to be in the playoffs, and you know you just look at all the talent that we have, and you know certainly I don't think anyone saw the year going this way. You know, we could go back to the conversation that we had 5 or 6 months ago. And,
Yep.
you know, certainly this was, you know, me personally, the year that I've had, the year that we've had as an offense, the year that we've had as a team. You know, nothing's gone according to plan.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. And Kyle, one of the big issues has been injuries, and it's very rare. And there's 21 guys on IR. It's insane when you think about that. There can't be a common denominator, but is there? Like, why are there so many guys that have had some soft tissue stuff? Obviously, Daniel Jones is unique with his neck, but is there a common denominator?
Bad luck. I mean, I think sometimes you just have years like this. You know, I've certainly never been a part of one, you know, where you've had this many guys that play and have an impact on the team end up on IR. But I mean, really, like when you look across the board, I mean, there's everything. There isn't like just one kind of thing where you can pinpoint and say, oh, well, you know, the off-season training or preseason games or can't, you know what I mean? Like, cause we had as normal of an off-season as you could where we were here for OTAs. We came, you know, some teams decided not to do OTAs. Well, we came here, we had OTAs, we had mini camp. You know, we were in training camp. We practiced against 2 teams in camp. We had preseason games. So, you know, sometimes you just can't get out of your own way in terms of injuries, and you have some bad luck. And, you know, certainly, Tiki, you understand this, being that you've been in the building before. You know, no matter who's on the field, there's 11 guys that got to go out there, and we have to play better. You can't blame it on injuries. Nobody's ever going to let you say, oh, well, we had guys hurt. Everybody's got guys hurt across the league. Certainly we have a lot. But at the same point, you know, keeping guys healthy and having your best 11 out there week in and week out goes a long way to winning football games. And, you know, unfortunately this year we've had a lot of guys down.
Mm-hmm. We're talking to Kyle Rudolph, first-year tight end with the Giants, and he's with us here on the Fan.
Yeah, and Kyle, it's freak things like Saquon stepping on whoever that linebacker or DB's ankle was in Dallas, and him missing a month or so. But you know, one of the things that we keep hearing from Joe Judge is the culture is right here. It is strong. You know, guys want to be here. Nobody's quitting, and I believe that just because of the makeup of guys like you on the team. But you know, what is that culture? What does it feel like to you guys relative to Joe Judge's like coaching?
Well, you know, for me, I've been in a lot of different atmospheres. Certainly, I was in one locker room for 10 years, but you know, every year that locker room is different.
Yeah.
The vibe is different. The atmosphere is different because the team's never the same 2 years in a row. And one of the things that jumped out to me just after, you know, my first couple days here in this building with all the guys in the building, the whole team here, is how close everyone is. You know, it's unlike anything I've ever been around. You know, professional sports, you know, a lot of guys like myself are, you know, you have families, you're married with kids. So you have life away from, it's not like college where you go to school together, you're at study hall together, you go to practice, like, you know, all your boys are in the locker room. That's it. We're here, we're at work, and then we go home to our families. But to me, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like that close-knit locker room, almost college-type vibe, and guys spend a ton of time together away from the facility as well. And I think that's kind of the culture that Coach is hitting at. Just, you know, guys are truly here for one another, and, you know, we want to have success because you want to do your job, so the guy next to you can do his.
Yeah.
Because it's one of your boys, and you want to see him have success.
That's a very encouraging characterization of where the Giants are. We're certainly going to take your word for it because, the record is what it is and the injuries are what they are. But if the culture is not there foundationally, then, you got to just blow everything up. If you're telling us as a 10-year vet with the Vikings and a guy who's very respected that it's actually in order, like Tiki said, I'm going to believe you. But I want to ask you this, Kyle. You were around Zimmer. You were around some good football people, guys who were in the game a long time, really their entire life. Do you get the sense that Joe Judge, and I don't mean in an arrogant way, but really truly believes that he'll be back next season? Or do you sense somebody who is not sure and maybe is trying to say things to either sway the owner or whatever? Like, day to day, what do you see from Joe?
Day to day, he's a guy that's coming here each and every day to try to help us get better and help us go out on Sundays and win football games. And, certainly there's times throughout the course of, the season, whether it be, after a tough loss, for me, one of the games that come up are the Chargers game in LA. And, one of the things he talked about was, as players and as coaches, we see things, especially in season, through such a microscope because you're game planning for a team, you're preparing, you're doing everything you can to win a game, and then you play that game on Sunday, and you move on to the next week. And, nothing else in the world matters, but you're just staring through this really, really fine microscope week in and week out. And, he had talked about, looking at things from a, much wider perspective and kind of seeing our team as a whole and the progress we've made since the beginning of the year. So, certainly things like that would lead you to believe that, he sees encouraging things for this team for the future, and not certainly worried about anything else.
Yeah, no, I got you. By the way, Kyle, I know you can only speak for yourself, but you seem to have a good pulse of what the sense is in the locker room. Do you get the sense that, and I don't mean everybody, there's always outliers, personality clashes, guys who don't work hard. We get that. But in totality, most of the guys, do you get the sense that they believe that Joe Judge is the right coach to eventually elevate this franchise and get some wins on the board and lead you out of this? This is your first year here, I get it, but the Giants have been in an abyss for a while. You get a sense that the players believe that he is the right guy to do that.
Yeah, and one of the things for me, I know I've only been here for one season, but the nature of my personality, the nature of the way that I do things, like I dive right in. I'm all in, and I feel the pain that Giants fans have felt. I'm trying to win my first Super Bowl too, and that's the whole reason why I came here, to win a championship. And everybody knows that Father Time is undefeated. I don't have 10 years to try to get this right.
Why not? Tom Brady's still going. Sure you do.
I can't throw it very well, so I don't think I have much of a chance to play to 44. But, it's all joking aside, I came here for a reason, and I came here to win a championship, and I know I don't have a lot of time left in my career to do that.
Yeah.
And, that's what's so frustrating and so hard about the way that things have gone this season, because you see the way that guys work at practice. You see the way they prepare Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then, we go out there and you don't get the results you want. It's hard because, it would be easy if we could look around and point fingers and say, well, so-and-so's not working hard, or they're not showing up, they're not accountable. That's when it's easy to fix things.
Yeah.
But when you're doing everything you can week in and week out to go out and win games, and you're not getting the results you may deserve, that means it's tough. But with that being said, you're around this league long enough. I've been on my rookie year, we were 3-13. The next year we were 10-6 and in the playoffs. You look at teams like the San Francisco 49ers a couple years ago, they won 4 games. The next year they played in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The Cincinnati Bengals are a 4-win team last year. Now they're the AFC North champs. So people, and it's just human nature. When the sky's falling, it seems like we're so far away and we got to completely rebuild everything. But you look across this league year in and year out, you see teams that, have a little bit better luck the next year, don't have as many injuries, keep guys healthy. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, where did this team come from? we thought this team was 5 years away from winning. So it's just, we have to just keep doing what we know what to do, and that's going out each and every day and working to get better.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And you guys can't afford to have Chicken Littles in the locker room talking about this thing is never going to get better. But you signed a 2-year deal, Kyle, so you're here next year as well, at the very minimum. And I think Washington notwithstanding, I don't want to diminish the game that's going to happen this weekend, because obviously you guys got to play that, and your focus has got to be on the Washington football team, soon to be the Admirals, or maybe that was just a mess up, or whatever it was. I think it was a UVA ploy to get them to donate to UVA's, endowment fund or whatever it was. Because now
you're not donated enough, Tiki.
I know, right?
He's cheap.
They hit us up all the time.
Him and Ron, they are cheap, Kyle. I'm telling you, cheap.
But my question, Kyle, is, the pieces that you want to look at for a team are offensive line. It's obviously quarterback. It's, a disruptor on defense. Do you feel the Giants have those guys right now? And next year we should be optimistic as a fan base, as supporters, really as a team. Should we be optimistic for next year?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll speak for us as an offense, and you look at Andrew Thomas, and he's one of the best tackles in football. Our offense suffered mightily the few weeks that he was out. I mean, you watch it, the way he protected the first however many games of the season he played before he got hurt. You talk to the quarterback, and he's like, I don't even have to worry about the left side of the field, because I know that I'll never get touched from anyone coming over there. That allows 4 other guys to kind of play freely and create 2 more double teams, because Andrew can be one-on-one on every single play, no matter who the rusher is. And you look at the guys that he was going to, week in and week out, you're playing against elite level rushers. So you have your cornerstone piece of the offensive line. Hopefully we get some guys back healthy on the offensive line. Obviously we have 3 very high draft picks. So there's ways to take something that people view as maybe not a strength of ours and make it a strength next year. And then you look at the rest of our offense with the skill players and the weapons, get the quarterback back healthy. I thought DJ was playing as good as football as anybody throughout the first half of the year when he was healthy and out there. And, I had heard so much, and obviously he gets a lot of the blame for things, as do all quarterbacks. But just to see the way that he came to work each and every day, see the way he went out there and played, I was blown away at the way that DJ played, and he put us in a position to go out and win each and every week. So I think the pieces are there, Tiki. I mean, I see it. Certainly, Like I said, I wouldn't have come here if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, look, that you can't comment on his injury, obviously, because you probably don't even know. But the neck injury is something that's worrisome for a lot of people. But that aside, for young quarterbacks, and you played with Teddy in Minnesota, you also played with Kirk, who was obviously a veteran by the time he got to you guys. Do you see him trending towards, man, this guy can be a winner, a long-term winner in the league? Because that's really the metric that we wanted to find out this year as a fan base, really as commentators on the game. And it just didn't happen. You know what I mean? Injury, not dysfunction, but just disillusion with some of this. Did you see any of that?
Absolutely. In my opinion, the way that I look at quarterbacks in this league, and, you decide if a guy's a franchise quarterback or not, or can you win a Super Bowl with him? And I think that answer is yes, 10 times out of 10 with DJ. Just the skill set that he brings, his athleticism. He was leading our team in rushing for the first month or 2 of the season. I mean,
that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, though. It's not a good thing.
I mean, it is when he's running, 75-yard runs.
That's a good point.
Plays.
It's a good point.
It wasn't like he was leading our team with rushing with 50 yards through 4 games.
That's a good point.
It adds a huge element to an offense that makes it really hard on defenses to defend. When your quarterback is going to be on the same spot, play in and play out, that the rushers are too good in this league, and that puts so much stress on our offensive line. So to have somebody back there that can make plays, he makes all the throws. I'd certainly say yes.
Kyle, I don't think you just mentioned Teddy Bridgewater and Kirk Cousins, and I think that Kirk Cousins is definitely more talented than Teddy. But I'm going to ask you, and I also think that Daniel Jones has more raw talent than Kirk Cousins, who's just an average athlete, doesn't have a rocket, more about placement, anticipation, blah, blah, blah. Am I out of bounds, or am I out of line when I say that Daniel Jones is more talented than all the other quarterbacks that you played with in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I mean, I've said that since day one. He's certainly the most talented guy I've ever played with, and I played with a lot. Jake Fromm was my 14th over the 11 years that I've been in the league.
We don't need to talk about him too much, Kyle. We can move on from Jake.
I've certainly had my fair share of starting quarterbacks in this league, and
Uh-huh.
I've seen a lot of quarterbacks in this league. I think back to guys like a healthy Sam Bradford is one of probably the best that I've ever played with, and just the ability that he had to put the ball in places. And DJ has that, but then he also has, like I mentioned, the athleticism piece to where he can make things happen. We have to be better for him on offense. We have to put him in better situations and protect him. And instead of DJ having to win every game for us, maybe allow his ability to shine through other people and put him in better situations. So then the entire football world can see what we see on a daily basis.
Yeah. Kyle, before we let you go, we have about a minute here. Do you guys hear all the noise? Are you listening to it? Sports talk radio, you're listening, reading the back pages. Are you guys hearing all of this? And what's your reaction to it?
Honestly, and being somebody that's been in this league for a long time, like, you can't do it. You have to just keep your head down. Like I said, we kind of go through Groundhog's Day each and every week where, you have a job to do, and that's to come in and prepare to win a football game. And if you let external factors change your opinion of yourself as a player or as your unit or of your team, it's just because you're never going to be able to please everyone. There's always going to be someone that's telling you you're no good. That you're getting old, you're not good enough, you're slow, you can't catch. Whatever they're telling you, you're never, especially in today's world with social media. Everybody on social media is an expert, and they're going to tell you the way it has to be. So you can't. Like, you can't look at things when they're good, and you can't look at things when they're bad. You just got to keep each and every day, come in, go to work, prepare yourself, do your job, because then you can feel good about it. You're like, I didn't cut any corners. I did everything I could this week to go out and get a win.
By the way, you a little pissed the way Brian Kelly left the Irish? Come on, let's be honest.
Hey, it is what it is. Obviously, in that industry, he felt like he had a better opportunity to go down to LSU and win a national championship. But I'm extremely excited about the direction of the program under Marcus.
Yeah. Marcus
Unfortunately, they didn't get it done in the bowl game, but I don't know him at all. I haven't been around him, but it seems like the players absolutely love him, and he's certainly had a lot of success as a coach, and certainly on the defensive side of the ball. So excited. I think he's going to be a great recruiter for that school, and he kind of brings a younger dynamic. He's 35 years old. It's been a long time since Notre Dame's had a head coach that's 35 years old. So excited for him to get out on the recruiting trail and get a lot of talent in there, and hopefully, who knows, maybe we can get over the hump.
Yeah, if you guys start cheating with the academics, you will win a championship. Let's face it, Notre Dame doing it the right way. That's part of the problem, Kyle.
Yeah, but who knows
listen
nowadays
him,
with the NIL.
There we go.
We got a pretty big brand, so
That's
hopefully
true.
the NIL can maybe get some guys in there that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to.
Hey, listen, good having you on the show. Tiki and I both live in New Jersey, so we're gonna put you on hold. Let's get your number. We'll reach out. We'll get a beer, the three of us, and I know you'll be with the Giants next year as well. But we'll connect a little bit. Good having you on the local show, man. Thanks a lot, Kyle.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Happy New Year, man.
Absolutely, yeah. When I heard you guys were the host, I jumped on. I couldn't wait to talk to you. So,
Love it.
Always good.
Awesome.
Appreciate you,
Put him
Kyle.
on hold. Get the info there. Thanks a lot, Hoffa. There you go. Kyle Rudolph, the Giants Report.